Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to our live video. I got suckered into doing this today. Kimberly is behind the camera instead of in front of the camera.
Hi everyone.
So she's going to keep an eye on if there's any comments or any questions or anything like that that I might be able to answer. My name is Ryan. I do all the product photography here at Inkpixie. And a couple people had asked me, how do I get the best photos with my iPhone? And I did another photo series back on one of the live videos before, and I figured maybe we just do another follow-up, just using everyday objects, everyday things in your house, and how you can get the most out of your cell phone pics. And today we're specifically going to focus on like food photography. It's pretty popular on Instagram and Facebook and all those other platforms to see, hey, this is what we're eating tonight. So I figured maybe I'd just give you a couple tips and tricks that I would do, and we'll go from there. So first thing I'm going to do, I have the light on so you can see my bald head and my face. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that light off so it doesn't affect our photo. So what I'm using is just a natural window here, and it could be any window in your house. Anything will push light in through. If you do have curtains, that might help. You might be able to control the lighting better, especially if you have those sheer curtains where you can diffuse the light a little bit. You'll be able to close that so you don't have any harsh lines unless you like them. So it all depends, it's all a matter of taste. Anyway, stay right there for one quick second. I'm going to kill this light. Okay, all right, so first things first, I had to think about it ahead of time. I was like, what am I going to take a picture of for this quick tutorial? And I love synonym rolls, so I decided, why not do that? Because I get to eat what I'm shooting when it's all said and done. So I chose that. And so I figured, it'd be kind of nice here. So I visually thought about the synonym roll, and I thought, well, it has some warm colors to it. It's got all kinds of browns. And so how do I want to break this photo up? So I just thought about what plate I would use, what surface I would use, if it's a coffee table, an end table. And again, it's all a matter of preference and what you like. So I chose just everything warm. Even the white on this plate is a little bit of a warmer white, like a cream. So I thought that'd be kind of nice, just to separate this from the background with the synonym roll. So first step is to planning what you're shooting, how you want to shoot it. And then the second step is once I get the synonym rolls, because I can't make anything this delicious, I went and got a synonym roll. I decided I want one without icing or anything like that because I wanted to be able to control it. So if this is something you're making at home, say you're making a pumpkin pie with whipped cream and that sort of thing, or you want to take a picture of that, you might want to set the pumpkin pie up first without adding the whipped cream, and then you can add that afterwards. So what I'll do first and foremost is I'm just going to kind of get a feel for how this lighting is coming from one side. Now, what I would do is I'm just going to probably work my way around the synonym roll and just to see what lighting I think looks the best. And I like extreme harsh lighting because I like to see this drop shadow on this plate. I like to see the drop shadow gives a height to that synonym roll. So plus sometimes even just shooting down, sometimes you'll see that a lot too. People taking pictures down. So that's why I set this up on a lower table so that I could shoot down just in case I wanted to do that. So, and I've never done this before, but I'm gonna try to, after I take photos, I'm gonna try to add them to the post that you're watching right now so that you can see them as we go. And it may not work, but we're gonna try it, okay? So first and foremost, I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm just gonna kind of work my way around here, the synonym roll, and just kind of see, okay, that's kind of nice, I like that. And then, I don't know, Kimberly, if you can get into my phone here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap on here and hold my finger, and again, I'm using an iPhone, I'm sure that they're similar. You see there's a little yellow box there. So that enables me to brighten up the photo or to darken the photo. Well, maybe, let's try that again. Yeah, there, now you can see it. Plus that sets your focus point too, when you're right there. So now it's locked in that focus point, it's got the lighting I like, and I'm just gonna take that photo. And I'm like, it's not too bad. It may not be cropped the way I want, but I can do that in what they call post. I can do that afterwards. Same thing with filters. To me, there are some things that I don't do. I mean, I'll do one on here on the iPhone. Some of the effects on here I can't reproduce in post, but some things I can. So if there are things that I can recreate, and when I say in post, I mean like after I've taken the photo, whether that means turn to black and white, whether that means to make it look orangey, warmer colors. I like to do that afterwards. I don't like to do that during, because you can always go back and undo it. But if you take it with that filter on, you're stuck with that photo. So anyway, so I'm rambling. So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, I like it, but I think what I want to do is I want to crop that. So I'm just going to go into my edit, and I'm going to crop that photo, and I want to do it on Instagram. Maybe, or Facebook. So I'm just going to do my square format, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to create a crop like this, okay? And then from there, I'm going to try to share this so you can see it. Hold on one quick second here. Let's see if this works. Okay. There we go. Oh my, that's me. I am going to try to, let's see if it's going to let me. Maybe. Hang tight, thank you for your patience. I think it might let me, but it doesn't look like it lets me. Okay, I'll post these in chronological order after the fact, okay? So after looking at this photo, which I'm going to post on there, my first photo, I like it, but it needs a little bit more interest. So obviously it also could use some icing. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this towel, and again, it's warmer colors. So based on my photo there, I think I'm just going to go ahead and kind of lay that there. And because of the lighting, the way the lighting is, I want it to look a little rippled. I want it to look a little kind of thrown down and not so much so perfect. I'm going to add a little bit of, okay, and then I'm going to take my phone up again. I'm going to take another photo. Let's just see what that looks like. Let me see, now that I can see. I'm going to take that photo right there. Again, I'm going to go into my crop, into my edit. And that's the other thing. I don't like to zoom in to take my pictures with the pinching. I like to get my phone in as close as I can and try to frame it the best that I can, knowing that I'm going to crop a little bit, but that'll keep your photos being crisp and not blurry. So I'm going to go back into here, and I'm going to make a second image. Done. Okay, it's not too bad. Let's see if I can brighten up my screen. It might help. So that's my second image. Not too bad for a cell phone pic, you know? Okay, so now, since I took it the way I build in reverse, so I know that I eventually wanted this on there, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I wanted to make sure that I added this, and so now I'm going to take pictures to add everything on, because I can't undo icing. Not that anybody would ever want to. Kimberly, you don't have to laugh. Okay, so what I want is just a nice top coat on here, and then I'm just going to let some drizzle down the sides here a little bit. I don't want it to look too uniform. One thing I did notice is that I kind of lost the fact that it's a synonym roll after I pulled out all that icing on there. And I might have made my icing a little bit thick. And all I did was vanilla, powdered sugar, and water, and mix them together to make my own icing. Because I knew it would work for the photo. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and maybe I'll get maybe the lighting will help me get. See, I don't like that there. The lighting may help tell the story that it is a cinnamon roll, because you can tell by that. Okay. Actually, what I told you guys to do, I didn't do. I'm going to tap Okay. Go to my edit. I'm going to crop it as a square. Extend here a little bit. Yeah, it's all right. Not too bad. I think that I want to zoom out a little bit though, but it is what it is. Okay. And the other thing I want to show you is some other tricks. Okay, so one thing I did notice is that the way I'm shooting right now from this angle, it is pretty dark in here. I mean, I like that a little bit sometimes, but to push a little bit of light, I just took a glass and a piece of Scotch tape and a piece of paper, and now that's going to act as a reflector. So it's going to bring in the natural light, and it's going to bounce back on to the roll here. And Kimberly, if you want to zoom in, what I'll do is I'm going to move in and out, and if Kimberly zooms in with the camera, she might be able to see it. All right, so I'm going to bring it in. You see how that brightens up? And I'm going to take it away. So just a piece of paper will bring a little bit of lift to that photo. So I think I'm going to bring it right back to here. Okay, so that's not in my photo anyway, but that'll help push some light in there without doing the exposure. Okay, so I'm going to take this here. Oh, and I like my cinnamon rolls actually. You can start to see with the icing there. So a little bit more light. I'm going to press and hold and focus on that guy. And take my picture. Okay, and then from here, obviously I'm going to crop it as a square. And I think what I like is a little bit more wood grain in that photo. So I'm going to do something like, maybe like this. Okay. And there's my photo again. It's looking a little bit better. Okay, so one thing that I know that iPhones have that I think like Samsung Galaxies have, Samsung Galaxies, I think they actually have a food mode. And it kind of achieves the same thing, or it might have a portrait mode as well. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use portrait mode on my iPhone here. I don't know if you can see that or not, just by sliding here. I'm going to slide to portrait mode. And what portrait mode does, it gives, they call it depth of field. Now, it's not a real depth of field in the iPhone. It's faking it. It's blurring some of the background and the foreground. But at least it helps achieve that. And if you don't want to take these photos and take it into something like Photoshop or some kind of photo editing program, you can just do it right within your phone. Again, these are one of those things that you can't undo. So if you want to do one with and one without, I think that's your best bet, and then you always have it. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you how this is going to change things a little bit here. And I'm going to try to take a similar photo as last time with a similar crop and everything. And then maybe, let me see, how did I crop the last one? Plate, okay. Maybe you'll be able to see the difference. So if I go square, and I'm going to zoom this guy in. I'm just going to touch the plate to the edges there. Okay, so they're similar. So if you zoom in here, again, I'll post these as before and afters. So you can see right here in the back of that, you can see how that towel is nice, and you can see all the fibers on that towel. And then the next photo in portrait mode, see how it blurs it out a little bit there, keeping your cinnamon roll in focus. So that's a little tip and trick, especially if you're on the fly or you're at a restaurant and you're like, this actually looks kind of cool. You can use it that way. You can use that portrait mode, even though it's meant for people, it still can add a little depth to your photos. The other thing I want to do, and I'll do this afterwards because I'm pretty sure I don't want to do this, is because it's a cinnamon roll. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. Synonym?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
There you go.
What did I say? Synonym.
Yeah. That's it.
Cinnamon. Okay. I have these cinnamon sticks, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can throw these in here, just because it's one of the main ingredients for the roll. I thought it would be nice to give a little bit of that in my photo. Okay. Let's try this bad boy again. Okay, so I'm still in, no I'm not. I'm in portrait mode again. And let me see, I'm gonna go down a little bit because I really want to get, yeah, I really want to get the height of that cinnamon roll. Kimberly, I can't say cinnamon.
I'm sorry.
I feel so silly.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Or mon, or if
Cinnamon.
you're Jamaican.
Well, yeah, it depends on what nationality. Okay, so there's my photo. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Now, I shot this one down a little bit because it made the roll, I'm just going to say the roll, it made the roll look a little larger than life, so I really like that. Let's see, square, boom. And I actually didn't think I'd like that, but I think that I do. Let's see, can you see that? Again, I'll post again. I'll post it on this video when we're done. And that looks kind of nice. I mean, I'm kind of happy with that. So the last thing I wanted to try to do is maybe, and I don't think this is necessary, well, I wasn't sure what it would look like. I'm just going to add some, this magical dust that I can't say the name of.
Cinnamon.
There you go. I feel like a little child, you know? And I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna take another picture and portrait. Yeah, and I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna like that. I'm overcomplicating the photo here. So, yeah. So, in the end, that was my last shot of what I wanted to try. A couple other tips, quickly, before I forget. Lint roller. You may not see it when you're looking here, but the first thing I do is I go through and I go over the table, and I forgot to do that, and just run it over the table real quick. If there's any dirt or dust, it may show up in your photo, and you might not be able to remove it with the software that's in the phone. So just do that first. It's just a good habit. The other thing is say this sat for a couple hours, or I got pulled away or something like that, and I really want to take a picture for my blog post or my friend's synonym rolls. I really want to. Anyway. If this icing's like really dried and hot, or not hot, if it's really dried and hard is what I meant to say, turn on the hot iron. See that segue? Yeah. I'll plug in an iron, and you can do this with cheese on burgers too. You just have to do it before you build it. Is you put the iron on and you put it on steam, and you let the steam do the magic. So what that'll do is that'll just add like a wet look on top of the icing, look like it's fresh. It'll also kind of melt the cheese. The cheese will start to look melty on a burger. So those are other tricks. I was going to throw a coffee cup in there, and as I was playing around with it, I just thought it made it too complicated. So I ended up deciding right before we went live, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to like that. So I should have taken it with there anyway. Like I said, you know, you can't always go backwards, so you might as well just take it if you have the opportunity to. But in the end, that is my tips and tricks for doing some cell phone or mobile device photography. Did anybody join us?
Yes, we did have some followers. But we had Barb Malley, Jonathan Kennardine, sorry if I pronounced things wrong, Deanna Yolrich, Terry Brigman, Desiree Barbaleb,
Awesome.
Gwen Kildew, Jeff Kern. Gwen Kildew asked, whoa, camera's moving. Do you always use the same shapes, or would you consider using a square plate with a round cinnamon roll? And what about colors? What are your thoughts on using contrasting colors? Too busy? Question mark.
Actually, great questions. So to me, it's a matter of personal preference. It's just like telling Picasso to paint this way and telling Leonardo da Vinci to paint this way. I think it's all in your personal preference and what you like. If you wanted, for some reason, I really enjoy the color, you know, like a maroon or something like that. And I had this great maroon towel that I love. That little bit of color may have really, you know, added to that photo. But again, I wanted to make sure that the cinnamon roll, so I chose to have muted colors because I wanted to make sure that this roll was my feature. A red plate may have still accomplished the same thing. So it's all a matter of preference. I mean, I'm not going to be the one that tells you that no, it's not going to work. But yes, I think it's all in the artistic eye of whoever is doing it. A square plate with a round food or a round object, that might be really interesting. You may find that to be just something appealing about that. And the other part of the question was
Thoughts on you contrasting colors and
Contrasting colors.
too busy.
okay, and too busy. Like I said, just a matter of preference. I do have square plates. I chose this round plate based on the color. I liked the plate that I have is bright, brilliant white, and I just thought it was too stark for the difference. And I also like this little ornate design. It was very simple, but I just liked the design from that. And I think I got this at Walmart for like $3 or something like that. It was something I ran across and I liked. But yeah, that's it. I definitely want to thank everybody for joining. And if there's no other questions or anything like that, then I'll say sayonara and we'll sign off. But if there are additional questions or you think of something later or you're watching this post later, just go ahead and put it in the comment section and we'll do our best to get back to you if I have an answer for you. The other thing is that next week, tune in. I think the girls are going to be doing something around food, and maybe some tips and tricks, maybe doing some things around some food ideas. And it seems like it's going to be quick and easy, but I don't want to give too many details about it because for one, I don't know much about it, but for two, I don't want to give too much away either. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you again. Take care. Bye.
All right, just want to give a quick shout out to Linda, Steve, Kenneth, Donna, Becky, Carol, Lori, Jacqueline, Andy, Gary, and Ken also for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was helpful and maybe even a little bit. So, thank you.
All right, thanks everyone. Bye.